My uncle used to have a used to have a hate having to hold this device, a poetic way of speaking. Um, I'm gonna speak from my heart. When he was drunk, I don't know if he was drunk or if that was just he had different dialects for different moments. We all have different dialects for different moments. Like one minute we speak in one language, and maybe for me or for you or for whoever's code, and then the next you speak in proper English, and then you got your club voice, inside outside voice. Anyway, I feel like how he felt. I remember he didn't request me on his deathbed because he didn't want me to see him that way. But I requested him. I wanted to see him one last time before he died. And late Chalks, I can remember. Trying to take my time. I remember exactly what he said to me. Some of the last words. He had a lot to say. And I mean, he wasn't a big talker, at least not with me, but he had a lot to say on his deathbed with me. And it wasn't like deathbed, meaning like he died when I left the room. Like it was like months later when he died, and his health just worsened. I didn't want to see him from that point. He didn't want to be seen, and I didn't want to see him. And I remember my mother tried to force me beyond my. And she actually blamed me. I didn't mean to go there to that part of the story, but maybe it's good that I do for my own health. But I didn't want to see him when it was like finally when he was ready to give up the ghost. That's the best way to put it. He was slipping away, ready to give the ghost up. I felt it. I felt his spirit. And my mom, I remember she threw her hands up. I can't do it with the other hand. She got mad, threw her hands up. I'm a grown woman. I'm like 20 something, early 20s, and she come with me to go see your uncle one last time. They said he might not make it, and I'm like, I'm not going. I mean, I grew up in a house where we didn't express our feelings, we weren't allowed to, so I couldn't say I'm not strong enough to see him because he was like the dad type figure to all the kids and all the different families, the cousin dynamics and all that. He was the father figure for all the daddyless, the fatherless. So I wasn't strong enough and I wasn't old enough. It's only 20 something early, not even 24. Between 20 and 24, somewhere in there. Who knows how old I was on those. Oddly specific, I just recall 2003. I was born in 1982, according to my records. So, I'm trying to remember. That was when he told me something he had never told me. He told me about his bus wreck when he was about 15. And he said, no, he didn't have to say it. It was written all over his face. I was one of the few people that didn't make fun of him for being a cripple. And I always treated him like a man and like the way a man's supposed to be. It was just in his mannerisms on his deathbed that he could tell that I've been dying. Irony, he's dying. I wasn't trying to be funny at that moment, but that is funny, dying. I was dying to know what happened to him. Nobody ever discussed it. My mother never told me. And so he told me it was from I should tell you the story, at least a snippet. And he really didn't have a whole lot to. So tell me, because he was hopped up on alcohol and meds. My uncle died with a fifth of vodka, like a soldier by his bedside. I'm not even sure really what took him out, because my family was so shady, and they were his at-home nurses right at the end. When it gets to that point and you with untrustworthy people, it's no telling what leads up to your death. So, not all of them were that way, but he wasn't with the trustworthy ones. Okay, so you got I'll be glad when I'm over this rash. So then you got I'm also preparing myself for not ever getting over it. Some rashes don't go away. Some rashes don't ever go away, and I am also preparing myself for the worst, like learning to live with this, because that's what it's looking like. It's looking like it ain't going to go away. I'm going to have to learn to live with it. It really hurts when I'm talking and trying to talk to someone. I got to stop. And it's embarrassing. I got to scratch it in public. Try not to scratch it in public. Because people get, you know, what's that, germaphobe? People get funny with you about the pus and stuff. And not everybody's that way, but some people don't want to, see you like picking and stuff like that. I'm gonna try something. Y'all just reminded me of something still right now. Still got some of that stuff. Damn, I don't want to squirt. You ever had a bottle like that? Didn't want to squirt. Yeah, but now I squirt. That's a cleaning spray. It's choking me up. So my uncle bus wreck. All he said he remember it was like slow motion. He used his hands. He said he remember the glass. He could hear the glass shatter. And he said it was like 1,000,000 pieces. Then he said, wait, I don't know. He said it was just like no way to count how many pieces. He said it was just so weird what he remembered about the crash. He remembered the bus went sideways and don't know how many pieces of glass it was. And he just remembered next thing he know, he couldn't feel that. I don't know if he said like all his leg lower half, or I can't remember if he said just the hip. And I remember he said, you know, and I knew he would tell the truth, because my uncle was a mama's boy, but he had his moments where he helped other people. You know, it didn't. Most mama's boys are spoiled and selfish, but he had his moments where he looked out for others. You know. So he said he can remember there just being so much blood, and he didn't feel a whole lot down there. But he remember rushing over to help other students, and he said he just like blacked out after that. He really didn't say much else what happened, but he said, I know you don't want to know all this time. He's like, I'm going to be with the Lord. He said, you know, I feel like I'm at death's door right now. This must be why he's on my mind. Over the years, the story's so traumatic, I try to forget this story. So, and it does this once I get, excuse me for a second, once I stop scratching somewhere, it starts to itch somewhere else. So now my arm, I ain't gonna move the camera around because I ain't wearing no clothes. And now my bicep is itching. I sprayed underneath my chin, which y'all saw me. Now my bicep itching. That's how I know I got I don't know if y'all saw my tits, but I got a roach that's in my glass. I hate to do what I'm about to do, but I don't want to lose my shit. I don't want to lose my spray it, boy. I got it, boy. You look kind of thirsty. Got you a little something to drink right here. Here you go, bitch. Got you a little something to drink. Sorry, kids. I didn't mean for y'all to hear that, but so y'all got a free self-defense lesson. Man. He thought he was gonna sneak and get my drink while I was busy doing a podcast, motherfucker. Oh, bitch. second, I'll be right back. Gotta take care of something. So I'm not gonna wait till I move in with Kylie to talk about my insect collection. I'm studying insects, and he must have heard my voice, cause like I sit here, I got my drinks right here next to me on the nightstand. I got 2 drinks next to me on the nightstand, and as soon as I got, let's see, I'm 11 minutes into this podcast, and he's crawling around my cup. So disgusting. He was crawling around. And he probably been in somebody else's apartment and crawling around the lid of my drink, trying to get in my. As soon as I started the podcast, so the chilling part is that he has been in this room with me the whole time, but he waited for me to be distracted. I'm learning how intelligent insects are, but also how stupid they are. So that was highly intelligent. He waited to hear my voice, waited for me to be distracted. And I'm trying to show you what my drink said. That's good enough. So I'm showing you as soon as I start doing the podcast, it's like this. They know I can't do too much on camera because I don't want to help my enemies. So before I was doing that, killing him, I was about to spray my other wound on my bicep. And so anyway, I was saying about, I ain't gonna get into too much detail about roaches, but I'm gonna have to wash that cup. But as far as because they crawl everywhere, I ain't telling where he been crawling it. On his deathbed, it was just poetic, and then it was something else he said to me that's bothered me to this day. I can't remember what else he said. I should tell you this too because there's a reason he's on my mind. You know, I never shared this story with too many people. I shared bits and pieces with like some of my former partners, then they never could appreciate the story, but maybe some of you can appreciate this story. Sorry about that jump. That's, you know, sometimes the bugs, this weird apartment, this crawl on me, different things, different insects, different rodents crawl on me in the middle of the night. Sometimes I don't get to get a good look at whatever it was. So I felt a tickle. Usually that tickle is oh yeah, that's for you, Kylie. Yeah, baby, that's for you. All for you. So I'm trying to think what else he tell me on his deathbed. He said, oh yeah, I just recall he said, you know, about the woman. He said he said he never loved no woman but your Aunt Pat. And I'm not sure if Pat was even a man or woman. She it could have been drag. You know, I never really got a good look at Pat. But then he said, you know what, I'm lying to you. He started cracking jokes. He said, I done been with some prostitutes before. He said, by that I wasn't in love with him though. He said, Pat was the only one I loved. And that's what I just got like a new respect for my uncle. He was like, I know you always seen me as this hoity-toity nose in the air Christian. He said, but you know, I get horny too. And just like Tyson was like, went with me. He's not who I wanted with me. I wanted Keisha with me, but because of the gay thing, she was smart. She didn't. My uncle was a gay basher, so she didn't attend. He would have said something offensive to her. He said some offensive things to me over the years, and because he was my uncle, overlooked him. But I made peace with him before he died about that, which was before I knew he was gonna die. I just saw the lifestyle he was living was healthy, and I just knew I didn't want to leave it that way. But anyway, so Tyson was around the corner, and then he revealed Tyson was just listening. And at one point, I remember he called Tyson in the room, and I don't want to get into the Tyson parts, but I remember my uncle saying, one thing you did was bring me joy in my life. He said, you made me laugh. And he's like, it's something I remember about you that you wouldn't, most people, you wouldn't think to remember. Like, you thought it was small, what you did, but I thought it was so funny. He's like, and he said, you did it when you was like maybe 5 or 6 years old. He said, but you don't think I remember. I remember, he said, I remember offering you some fish. That was my uncle's thing because he was a hunter and he loved to go fishing. And I don't know if he just didn't want to hunt other things in Mississippi, but fish was the main dish that we ate at my grandmother's household. Even though she had long since passed away, he would go hunting fish and bring. He's the uncle that taught me. I'm not gonna get into all that. All the tips and tricks. You're teaching me well, Kylie. It's inflammation. I don't know if it's the antibiotics. Anyway, it wasn't red like that before. But anyway, so he taught me everything I know about hunting, minus my own killer instincts. I mean, I picked up my own tricks along the way. If you are a hunter, then you can't learn everything from somebody else. But anyway, back to the story. He said, this is nice. I'm enjoying this, being able to get back to my podcast. Nobody's bothering me. People are leaving me alone and my loved ones alone, and I'm able to get back to what I love to do. So anyway, he said, you walked in the kitchen. And I was like, I walked in the kitchen. Okay, then what I do? He said, you walked in the kitchen. And he said to me, you want the mini me when I was in grade school, you want some fish? And he said, I looked at him and said, I just want the tail. And I didn't think that anybody remembered that. My own mom didn't ever remember that, but I was a weird kid, and I'm an even weirder adult. And I did to this day. To me, that's the best part of the fish is the tail, because it got that little crunch on it. Not all fish, certain fish like mullet and trout, which are real big in that salt water as far as my uncle really didn't hunt freshwater fish. But yeah, I used to get that little, and you ain't got to worry about no hard bones. There's bones in the tail, at least I think it is. Maybe it's gills, but whatever's in the tail, and it's really like Asian, like eclectic. So it's Asians eat a lot of shit like that. Asians eat the tail, and so yeah, I used to eat that tail and crunch it like it was a French fry. He was like, damn, he said that used to crack me up. The baby don't want nothing but the tail, cause like we would eat off the same fish. The same fish be so big, it's enough for about 2 people. And some fish, you go fishing, they ain't big enough. But there's the ones he used to get. He made sure they're big enough for you too. And he said, I want that. He said he did my voice. I don't remember my voice when I was a kid, but he remembered it. I want the tail, just the tail, Uncle Chucks. And then he never knew what tickled me all these years. Like, it was like a Meet the Fockers moment. He used to come around, and my brother Nick used to get jealous. So he used to come around, and he been down on one knee like he about to propose to me. Not my brothers, not Joel, let me not say their names. Not none of my brothers, and he get down on one knee, and he, what I got? I'm too tired to do the whole animated, so I'm gonna have to do the light animation. What I got in my pocket? But he used to get real crazy, like John Witherspoon. What I got in my pocket? What I got? Man, then he find it like quarter behind the ear, like that kind of thing. Only he didn't do it behind the ear. He just did it everywhere. I won't rule out he might have reached down his crotch. I don't remember as a kid, but he just looked for the loose change all over his body. And I don't remember. He might have just whipped something out. I don't recall. Might have been traumatic, but either way, it was funny to me because it wound up with cash in my hand. And, it wasn't nothing but like, maybe a five and change, whatever cause I ain't gonna say their names. I don't feel like getting into that story, and I like to watch the slander thing. His ex-wife, his widow, and his daughter cleaned him out so bad. By the time he got to me, all he had was pocket change left, but he at least saved me that. And probably why my brothers was jealous, because I don't remember him giving them money. So anyway, what I got in my pocket, Benny? Wow, look at that. I don't know if he hit me in the face with it, but it's so fun to I think he did that shit till I got in high school. I still laugh because it came out with cash. And then he said, you forget one thing. What? Kiss right here. He's made me kiss him right here. That's why he was like my TV dad, but in real life, because my bio dad, I have no idea his whereabouts, or my uncle said, rest in peace to him. So it's my bio dad. But anyway, the man presumed to be my bio dad anyway, so kiss him on the cheek. Something else you missing. What now? Who love you? Who love you? You supposed to say Uncle Chuck. That's what you tell me. You're supposed to say Uncle Chuck. Uncle Chucks. Oh my man, my brother. They got so jealous they used to pick on me about it, but I did it anyway. It was one of the few times I stood up to my bullies. As much as they embarrassed me, you sound so stupid. Telling him that, you sound so stupid. And I did it anyway. So I did it. And he would just be like, and I just smiled so big. And so I told him all this on his deathbed. And it was a couple of things I wanted when he passed, like his jacket, his old smelly fishing jacket he had. It was denim. And there was a big stink about that jacket because my aunt wanted it too. All the hoes. We was all fighting over my uncle's stuff, and my mom told me to just stay out of it. And then my aunt was a jerk, but came back around and apologized and said, "You can come get it." Everybody got mad because it was just like ratty stuff that had no value to it. It should just be, And I just said it didn't cause a rift between us though. I just said, man, it's okay. I told her, I don't know what I told her. I don't know if I told her, that worked out because it's too tough for me. It reminds me of him. I think I might have, and I wasn't lying when I told her that. So anyway, my uncle Roland got involved and got mad and said, she ain't doing nothing with that stuff. Come over here and get it. Oh, it was funny when Roland got mad because he didn't get mad too often. So after that deathbed, what else did he tell me on the deathbed? And I can remember him saying, Lisa, I got this cancer in me, and I can't show you where the cancer was on him because I'm a nude. And he was like, I got this cancer in me. He pulled his shirt up and showed me his stomach, and then his head was enlarged from the tumor. And he said, I got this cancer in me, but I got this cancer. He sounded Cajun. A different dialects. The whole point of the video was the different dialects, and it was poetic. And he said, let me stop rushing myself because I'm worried about frying my device with I don't want my enemies knowing how I'm able to stream. Because I had people take out my communication before. So, but God has been blessing me. So he said, I got this cancer in me, and I can't leave the liquor alone. I can't leave the drinking alone. And he said, he started drinking it, and I don't think my uncle ever shared his alcohol with me, and I never knew what he put in it, so I didn't. At that point in time, I probably needed a drink and didn't know I needed it, but I didn't drink. I just let him, as the man's deathbed, I'm like, the last time he gonna see this stuff, I'm gonna let him. And the whole point is I feel like him right now. Like I feel like it's some things on my chest that I need to get off my chest, like Illinois. I keep saying Illinois because I'm not a local. Illinois, like annoying somebody. I keep forgetting the correct pronunciation. It's the death of me. It's killing me. I've been getting flagged since I've been getting flagged for a while now. Not just Illinois. I was getting flagged in Mississippi. That's how I wound up in that house. A couple of houses I was staying at. Sometimes we forget our self-worth. Before I was been in between homelessness and on the streets, and anyway, I acquired some houses and some trailers here, and I wasn't always on the streets and flagging the flags. I keep getting flagged. People keep asking me for help. I keep getting flag after flag, and I'm wondering if helping people is going to be the death of me in Illinois. Like, am I going to leave Illinois? Is that going to be my greeting to Kylie in a casket, you know? Because I'm like at death's door right now. And I'm on so many, maybe spiritually, that's why I keep seeing my uncle. I keep seeing him, like, seeing him, like, not in the flesh, I mean his spirit. Maybe it's all the medications I'm on. And I'm just like, I feel like him now when he was on his deathbed and he opened up to me about some things. And I can't remember. This is on my mind too. And I remember he hexed me with a couple of things. He told me to stay with Tyson. I'm looking at the deer on the wall, asking how far should I go with this. And I'm looking at my skin clearing up. The rash, like I said, is getting better. It ain't completely gone away, but it's better. And I'm not scratching up top of it that much. I'm scratching my bicep. Okay, take your time. You ain't gotta speed through this. So he told me, he hexed me on his deathbed. He said for me to stay with Tyson. And he told me, your mother's stubborn. Look out for your mother. And he said, it was a blank after that. And out of respect for him dying, I wanted to say some choice words like, you motherfucker, you know. You hexed me. You have cursed me. So he cursed me. And that is not why I stayed with Tyson, actually. Not why I stayed with my mother. It was just different, emotional, abusive stuff while I stayed with those two. Let's see if I can set it down without showing you titties. Even if it's just for a moment. So, what else happened? With him on the deathbed. It may have to be a separate video because I can't think of nothing else he said to me on the deathbed. But about Nick. Nick and my brother. The people want to know what my brother did when I was being molested, and he walked into the room and saw what was happening to me. What Nick did, he left me, and he saved himself. And it's been the other way around our entire lives. He's hated me and turned his back on me, and turned his back on his own family when it should have been the other way around. I should have a vendetta against him. His baby sister, I was like, I think from what my mom said, Nick was born in 1979. I was born in 1982. And this happened to me when I was about 5 or 6. I forget how old that would make him at the time. When I was about 5 or 6. He maybe 6th grade, I don't know. He came in, and I can remember, I don't know if I was mute or if I cried out to him, and he left me. And that day I was molested. That's what I remember. People want to know, even though this isn't Germany, people want to know what happened when Nick found out what was happening to me. He left me. And a lot more happened in that room that I'm starting to recall, but I don't really want to talk about it. But he didn't fight for me. It didn't come to fists. He interrupted what the guy was doing, and then he let him continue on, and he exited the room. That's the kind of man he is. That's the kind of brothers I've had to put up with over the years. Those are the reason. There are the many reasons I left the South. And over the years, my mother covered it up. And these are the mama's boys. So I don't want too much from the mama's boys unless one of my profs told me it's an exception to every rule. Chalks was the exception. Chalks was a mama's boy, but Chalks was like a hybrid of Tupac Shakur. Chalks was a hybrid. He was a mama's boy, but he also was a thug. Chalks did not fuck around, but not my brothers. And anyway, I don't want to talk on the subject too long because I'm gonna get mad all over again. But yeah, my brother left me in that room with my offender. Left me in there with a teenage boy. My uncle. Just recall, yeah, what I was saying. My mom got mad at me. She when she left me. I was like at her house. You know, a lot of families traditionally you meet at somebody's house if somebody's dead or dying. Fellowship, food, whatever. Sex, I don't know, whatever your thing is. We weren't meeting for sex. We ain't had that kind of family. At least I wasn't involved in it and didn't want to be. So I was there for the emotional support not them supporting me emotionally, me supporting them emotionally. And keep forgetting, okay, just take your time. Even though your phone is raggedy, you don't have to speed through this. Don't speed through this, okay? So, my mom finally got her leave. She finally left after begging me to go, and she got pissed when she didn't respect my grieving wishes, didn't respect my wishes. I respected her, let her go on. So then, she come back. I forget how long she was gone, how many hours it took. Lisa, you had the right idea. I'm not. My mom was. I told you so, queen. So was Kylie. I hadn't even met her in person yet, but this is what God is telling me. And so if I was the I told you so type, I would have said something to her along those lines of I told you so. But regardless of what emotion she was in and what feelings she was in of her own, so she come back in her own house, and I'm sitting on the couch crying, just in a fetal position, and this is the man I'm losing who's like been my dad all these years. He used to come over like almost every day, sometimes every day, consistently until I moved out of my mom's house at 18. So she come back in, and Lisa, you were right. You were right. It was a horrible scene watching your uncle pass away. She said, I shouldn't have gone. She said, Paula was like on top of the body. They were trying to remove the body from my grandmother's house, and she said that Paula just refused to let go and crying, and she said it was horrid. You did the right thing. So that would have been my moment if I was I told you so kind of woman, kind of girl. And I can remember that though, like it was yesterday. And she, I don't know if I held my mom or not. I remember my mom was crying, and I can remember my mom didn't want to be held a lot, at least not by me. And I know not my brothers. I know that that was not unusual to see us not hug in our household. Every now and again I hug my brothers, then every now and again they hug me, but they kind of used to hug like a feminine, like a granny hug. They would kind of hug me like that. It's like she really screwed us all up, but I don't know if they hug other people like that or if it was just me. But I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just trying to pinpoint the story, help myself figure out what's going on. But I don't know what made me recall that just now. That if my brothers were huggers with other people or not, but they were granny huggers with me, thank God. So yeah, my mom. I remember she used to hug me every now and again. It was always a granny hug. It was never full embrace. Come over here and give me a hug. Like if I gave her a gift, usually that was the basis of our relationship, giving each other gifts. My mom was just all about money. I'm trying to get the one that's on the side here. It's itching like crazy. And so she gave the granny hug. I never like Marlon Wayans is why it's homosexual, but it's also like beautiful to watch how he hugged his brothers on his TV show. And that's the way you should hug your family. So for a minute, this is irritating me in my skin. So, we would never hug like the Wayans brothers. We hug like Granny hugged in our house, and I never hug other people that way. Other people who I thought was my family, like, you know, stab me in the back, that kind of thing. And people who was like my family, when my family was absent, I would hug them depending on if the guy had a bone or not. Like some guys, you know, would hug me like front to front, privates to privates, but I kind of have to watch. If the guy was respectful, he kind of like put a little distance there. You know, and if he wasn't like small, you know, he can't give me a full embrace and go front to front because I'm gonna feel it. So, you know, it just depends on who you embracing. If you're embracing a guy, he kind of put, if he respectful of you as a woman, then he'll put a little distance there. And if he kind of large down there, he gonna be respectful. I've had over the years different kinds of hugs, like from people who's like my family. Some men are respectful. And that way, when they're hugging a woman, like they want you to have the full embrace, but they don't want you to feel them all down there. And some of them just, I haven't had too many granny hugs from people outside my family. People outside my family, I've had more real embrace. Like people need. I don't know why it's on my mind. Like a real. Like right now, I don't know the last time I had. Probably Wesley when he embraced me. I'm not gonna get into who Wesley is. I'm talking about him before in the whole video, but that's the last time. But I did not want to be embraced by him. But he initiated a hug. Oh God, I almost got the skin off. It's the last time I had a embrace like that. So. The last time I had an embrace that I wanted, I don't remember. I don't remember the last time somebody hugged me and I wanted to be held. I don't remember. Cause you know I've been going through evictions. I went through some evictions. I went through 2, 3 divorces. And those were arranged marriages, so that's not healthy. And my therapy is already helping me. That I don't get a ongoing in my life. I don't come home to a embrace from somebody who I want. I don't come home to. I'm not sure if many people do. Lots of people, you know, are married. Are not affectionate with their partners. You know, me and Tyson didn't embrace too often. I don't want to talk about my last ex, but I'm trying to get the skin right here, so y'all have to excuse me. It's just really.